Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest Dawn of War Unification cast this side of East Yorkshire. And today we've got a 3 vs 3 on gear. Playing on Team 1 as the Vraxian Renegade Guard, we've got you, Slur, No, Lexa. We've got Vampire playing as the DKoK Krieg. And we've got Vasya Ogrin playing as the Salamanders. So Team 2 playing as Imperial Guard, we've got Reasons of Shaken. We've got Queb playing as the Shogun Renegade Guard. And we've got Gao playing as the Sisters of Battle. Now I know what you're thinking, Mr. Landshark, you handsome man. It's Wednesday, you should be uploading an Ultimate Apocalypse game. Well, let me tell you a reason for why that we're doing a Unification game today. So I got home and I figured, right, okay, well, it's time to, download the hotfix patch for Ultimate Apocalypse. In my head, hotfix means a small file. But no, it's 2 gigs large, it's a little bit 2 gigs large. And in East Yorkshire, we still basically mine our internet from the ground. So it takes me about 4 hours to download 2 gigabytes worth of stuff. So that's what's going on at the moment. So that's my head. So I'm recording this. I'm going to do the Ultimate Apocalypse game another time. But anyway, it's Unification, baby. It's Unification, and we've got plenty of guards factions. We've got the Shogun Renegade Guard. Oh, no, sorry, no. This is the Vraxian Renegade Guard, and then we have the Shogun. So 2 sides of the same coin, but slightly different in many ways. All the weebs and all that stuff, and lots of potential Chaos God nonsense going on over on this side. I mean, basically, these guys act more like an Eldari kind of faction, in the sense that every single one of their infantry units are specialised towards one specific kind of opponent, whereas the Vraxian Renegade Guard are a little bit more Imperial Guardish, just more chaosy nonsense. Do some mischief over on the top left-hand side. It's weird that with the past 3v3 games have been on gear, but that is what you're going to get, I'm afraid. So we've got a forward placement, heavy bottle turret being placed down by Reason of Shaking, but plenty of Salamander scout squads coming forward, and these guys are a little bit chunkier than your regular scout units, and taking on these Imperial Guardsmen, no problem whatsoever, focusing down that Tech Priest Enunciate any which way he can. You will have noticed, well, I've had to turn down the graphics for this, so everything looks a bit like a potato. There's a 3 vs 3, and for some reason, it's not working on any graphics higher than this. Technology doesn't like me today, nothing really likes me today, my head specifically doesn't like me today. Back to school, and all the kids have got colds, and they've... Well, that was a weird little jump. A little bit of a flex on those haters, a 360 no-scope. Get that on your face, clan montages. Got the Revolutionary Volunteers, the Chaos Preacher, trying to shake these girls off, but the Seraphims will get those decaps in as and where they can. There's another one that they could potentially go for down here as well, but starting to fly away. And make sure that they stay alive as best they can. But plenty of scouts just chilling over here. Also, Vasya Ogrin. I'm not sure whether your name is now in English letters, or whether it's because I can now suddenly read, or what alphabet do the Eastern Europeans and other people use. Not entirely sure, but maybe I've just suddenly learned it against my will. There we are. Shogun Renegade Guard of the Khan Warriors being blasted apart by the Thunder Fire Cannon. Little arcing fire now. Used to just be a blast, but must have changed at some point without telling me. How very rude. Well, they probably told me in the patch notes. I didn't read them. I mean, I read some of them, not all of them. One man, and one man. I've got plenty of Jaegers from the DKoK Krieg using their smoke to be a little bit infiltrated for a temporary amount of time, breaking the morale on the Takan Warriors and sending them a backpack. We've also got a command squad just manoeuvring around. It's just one priest. Just one priest, but there's potential for more. Salamanders being a real pain in the back lines. Imperial Guard definitely needs to sort something out, but thankfully, a wonderful placement for the infantry command. And the field command was, they didn't choose where that was, but nice placement of the buildings means that they can defend their hearth and home, also protecting their listing post on the right-hand side. So not the worst-case scenario. We weren't giving up 2 strategic points. The very cheeky Vasya Ogrin building up those listing posts inside of his base, which is less than ideal for these guys. I want to see the Shogun Renegade Guard come down for support. The Sisters seem to be holding off against Lexa on their own. We do have a tier 2 for both the Imperial Guard and the Sisters of Battle. Not sure about... Oh no, you get a tree coming from your bastion when you hit tier 2. So another tier 2 for you at the moment. And these Salamanders, man, they're just cantankerous. They've got one listing post up, soon to get another one up as well, but here comes a mechanized command, and the scouts will be doing naffall against any kind of vehicular things coming from that building. Listing post, and the relic has been captured by Slur Lexa, or Slur No Lexa, you Slur No Lexa, if you want to use his proper Sunday name. And some fighting friends coming over to see what they could do. Command Squad could really do with extra friends there, but I suppose he's just spending his money. He doesn't have much money. So going to make sure that he uses the maximum amount of his plasma generators. Going to pop down a heavy weapons team. Quite an expensive investment, but if they can keep it alive, it will certainly keep these scouts on the back lines. Yeah, really quickly killing these lads for one squad wipe there. Very good for them. Thunder fire cannon being a bit out of a position. Could have really done with it coming over this side and having the scouts being on the front lines for it. But it's dead now. It can't come back to life. That's how death works. Unless you're Vulcan himself. Got one singular missionary and a canoness soloing a squad each. Missionary goes down for obvious reasons, but the canoness, not a bad customer when it comes to a bit of argy-bargy in close combat. Power sword or flailing. And the militia soldiers. Now you are different from the... Yes, you are the actual proper infantry. Because you've got the volunteers, which act as conscripts. You've got these guys, which are fully qualified lads. Consider that they are militia, but you know, I mean, they've got options for weapons, and plenty of grenade launchers, keep guys about, but the Inferno pistol, quite often see a canoness being placed into ranged stance, just because that damage is just, you know, quite good. Quite a good thing. It's got Celestians for the close combat prowess, those chain swords are buzzing. Making things out, it's so sad that the graphics are on low, but what can you do in these tawdry times? The Sting Purse having broken down, the Chimera is out for the Imperial Guard. And they are going to bring the pain towards the Salamanders. Double Chimeras already inside the base. Got some soldiers from Vampire seeing what he can do. And a couple of Rapier Armor Destroyers, which is a hard counter to any form of vehicles. If they can keep them safe from the infantry, they'll surely be coming over to be a little bit more aggressive. But there we are, opening fire very quickly. Breaking down those Chimeras. So they are going to retreat just to save their money. Got a wonderful Tech Priest engines here coming over to do some field repairs. The Eternal Shogun providing that support as well. Got a Razorback from Vasya Ogrin as Vampire brings even more Jaegers onto the field. Second Rapier Armor Destroyer. As down this side, the Celestians and the Canoness have done the business on the Relic. They're now pushing forward with a Rhino transport. Four Revolutionary Volunteers, though, can have access to 4 missile launchers. That makes them quite an easy unit to basically transition into Tier 2 if you need that AV on quick and easy. Chimera's going down, heavy weapons teams busting a gut towards these Jaegers. Oh no, oh dear, you've gone for Las Cannon. That's probably a bit of a faux pas there. And again, I suppose you did need some anti-vehicle stuff to take on the armor destroyers, and the Chimeras can sort out these Jaegers as and when they fancy. But the Las Cannon is down. And the Tech Iron Warriors, like I said, nowhere near as flexible as the other Imperial Guard units. They come out, they do one thing and one thing only. That's fair enough. Double Razorbacks now trundling on forward. But the Sisters of Battle are now inside of the Vraxian Renegade Guards base. Attempting to get some plasma pistols on, or plasma guns on them. Now jumping inside, and here comes that plasma. We'll lose their Renegade Tactica. Unlike the Northern Imperial Guard player, the recruitment centre is on the back lines, which is a real shame because if you're able to put 4 models inside, or should I say 4 units worth of whatever inside the recruitment centre, they are able to fire up missile launchers, so that would help take on the Rhino transports. Could have really done with that being on the front lines somewhere. They are losing severe amounts of stuff. Bunker in place in the middle bit, and the Death Corps taking up into Tier 2, so not in a position really where they can throw down some support. But a Death Watch veteran and the Razorbacks sending these guys all the way back home, focusing down the Chimeras, which is an interesting choice, considering that you've got the assault cannon, but I mean, you know what you're doing, and it's actually working, so don't tell your nose about that. But nothing at the moment coming down to support the Renegade Guard, but actually it seems to like they've saved themselves here. It's because of the heavy weapons squads. Able to gain more lads inside their squads. Does take a little while to get them online. Also very expensive at 180 and 40. But they are more mobile, and they also can hunker down like your traditional Imperial Guard faction. So got a bit of a choice between maneuverability and defense. Everything's dead. Seraphims from Gal are going to be retreating as best as they can. Or maybe no, they're not. They're coming for a second pass. So don't know how I feel about this with the heavy weapons teams on the back lines. Maybe if you jump over engage these guys in close combat while the Celestians come in to bash things, but that was not what happened. It's not what happened at all. Tsunami tank flying on in. Good for anti-vehicle stuff. Acts much like a sentinel. But the Tech Marine keeping the guys alive. Preparing it good and proper. And let me tilt the camera. There's lots of action going on everywhere. In the wombo combo of the Shogunate and the traditional guardsmen. Seems like they're just throwing out chimeras as much as they can, which makes sense. They haven't even... Alright, they might have reclaimed it, but then they've lost them again. So, on a skeleton's crew of economy, reason for shaking is doing what he can. You've got to respect it. Tank bus now coming forward, but that's, you know, they're a bit too far forward. Keb even. Fall back. As best you can. But no, they're dead now. But keeping things away from the mainstay. Command squad gets a zap on the Razorback. Rapier Armor Destroyer goes down. And make sure that you keep that other one, that fresh one coming over, away from your Chimera. As turns attention to him. And we'll break him down relatively quickly. But the numbers are amassing. And those tank busters are making their way on over. It does seem that Vasyogun has gone for a vehicle-heavy composition. He's got no infantry recruitment building, so it's just going to be vehicles from him. So he's relying on Vampire to provide that infantry support. Always a risk going for a singular kind of unit composition, just because it's harder to counter. In a team game, you can afford to do that if you've got good communication between your teammates. I assume that these guys are on some sort of voice call, or maybe communicating via some sort of Eastern hive mind, which would make sense. You know, that's a thing that they do, right? I think maybe. I don't know. Either way, tier 3 on the way. Have a quick gander at the economies. 60 and 10. Ooh, that's not great for you, Slow No Alexa. Got 92 and 66 and 68 and 66 compared to 96 and 40. 117 and 50 and 85 and 40. So quite a small economy for the majority of players in this game. The Shogun and Renegade Guard having the lion's share of the economy at the moment. But you don't need a huge amount of blue money to have a good amount of vehicles on the go for you. Just as long as you've got plenty of plasma generators, you should be able to do relatively fine. Dreadnought uppercutting a whole bunch of the Ballista Maidens, and I'm not even going to try and pronounce what their leader's called. Something about Mushy Peas. The Mushy Pea leaders. Comes a Lady Inquisitor. Some good stabby bits. Tying those girls up. Much like a Dark Reaper squad are the Ballista Maidens. It's actually really helpful that the Shogun and Renegade Guard have got lots of parallels. Makes it very easy to explain what they're able to do. Lost the Ballista Maiden's been stabbed down. Tsunami Tank will be following as well. Dreadnought punching down this infantry command. Just not taking any prisoners at all. And now the Vraxian Renegade Guard are getting a bit of a revenge thing going on here. Although not got any anti-vehicle weaponry on them, as they've lost their Renegade Tactica. Bit of a problem, because the Immolator will just slowly burn these guys down. They're going to turn around and see if they can do some damage, but I don't... Oh, they're going to hunker down. Also got the heavy cover as well, so that might be able to wombo combo with that. But actually, not bad vehicle damage from these heavy balls, which you would not expect, but that's down. And another one will go down as well. The Retributors, or not the Retributors, they look like Retributors, the regular Battle Sisters with heavy bolters on their backs. Having a bit of difficulty going on there. So double tanks are out of commission. Sisters are lacking numbers. They are trying to get some castigators online. Going to engage these guys in melee combat, which makes sense since they are in the heavy cover. But the Inferno pistol still on the go for them. Just looking a little bit worse for wear for them at the moment. Celestians down to 2 models, but narrowly avoiding a squad wipe going on there. These guys just barely taking any damage. Good heavens. Throw some grenades in there maybe. That might sort them out. Rapier Armor Destroyers. We've got no vehicles to go up against, but oh, we've got a little Siegfried. A cheeky little tank. A cheeky little men. Don't feel too happy about the chap in there. Must be really cramped. Basically a coffin with wheels. And that will indeed be his coffin. But managing to save their souls there. But the assault continues on reason of Shaking's listing post outside his base. Will potentially lose it as this dreadnought comes walking in. And seeing what he can bash. Sisters have managed to shake the Vraxian Renegade Guard from their holdings. And now chasing him down with a mighty castigator. Plenty of shooting bits on this lad. Or lass even. Yeah, you've got 2 shooting bits on the side bits. You've got the main turret. And you've also got a lady on top. So most tanks don't have the lady on top. So 1 extra gun for all the fun times. And that listing post is going down pretty swiftly. Dreadnought has finally walked his way on over. It's killed this listing post. We're making his way on over to just circumvent these dojos. Looks like he's going to try and bash some sort of plasma generators. I can see the Grand Guju, or Guji. Whatever that means. And the sisters continue the never-ending push. They've got the more Renegade Guard, heavy weapons squads. Really could do with those last cannons there. We're doing nil poir against the Castigator. Here comes the Sniper's kill team. Can't headshot a tank there. We might be able to headshot some Celestians if they don't spot you, which is exactly what they do. Got the Voxcaster for spotting. Actually, heavens forbid, they're actually doing a really good job killing these Celestians. Not a bad thing. Also calling in some firepower. Or is that just intimidation smirk? Might be intimidation smirk. Well, we've got some heavy weapons platoons from the DKoK Krieg, so plenty of firepower. Also, a bastion being a, well, just a bastion really, keeping people back. Over yonder, we do have the infantry commands and failed plasma generators from reason of shaking. He's deciding just to expand downwards. If you can't beat them, build on them. Although, I mean, it's expensive, and you're probably going to lose these buildings if you don't have anyone coming over for defensive reasons, which you don't really have much. Very little in the way of economy as well, but relying on the Shogun and Renegade Guard to provide that defensive edge. Heavy weapons teams with a las cannon to do some damage to the Razorback. Also got another heavy weapons team as well. Striker Sentinel charging on over with those missile launchers. Though it does seem to not do that much damage against vehicles. We'll probably need the chemical assault pattern upgrade. Oh, you need Mark and Nagel for that. Fair enough, you won't get that then. Not for you, I'm afraid. Unless you've gone for it. I don't think you have you? Do we have a symbol that tells us what you've gone for? Is that just Chaos Mark of Undivided? Could be. There's my assumptions. Pushing further into the Salamander base. You've got something deep striking in. What could that be, I wonder? There's going to be a big, fat Primaris Aggressor Squad. Are you the punchy ones? No, you are the ranged ones. Good for mowing down infantry, and there is a lot of infantry to mow down. Sisters are doing what they can, but the heavy weapons teams are keeping people back. Also, gun turret emplacement from Vampire. Just in case anyone gets any fresh ideas. A huge damage coming in, even considering these are las guns. Sawing on those Battle Sisters willy-nilly. Big push down in the centre. Predator has been stunned, I think, by the command squad. It's got double priests in there. Sorry, double psychers, sorry. For the stunning of vehicles, but the Tech Marines can always repair it. And now got a Terminator squad, so Vasya Ogren has transitioned from pure tanks to adding some heavy infantry in there as well, which is very nice to see. Also that support from the heavy weapons platoons. Things are breaking. More Terminators are being dropped, potted in. Morale's been broken as I assume that they've lost their Grand Goji or whatever they're called. It's a real problem for the... Oh, similar to the Tau. They lose the commander. They all feel a bit sad for a little bit. Are the Shogun and Renegade Guard just basically a patchwork of other factions put together? Maybe. I mean, I like it, personally. IMO, as we would say back on MSN in the previous years. There's a tank, and also an aircraft that's gone down, and just look at this powerful heavy infantry just slowly meandering forward The assault terminators will go down, but they've absorbed loads of fire from everyone. We have a sort of Ragnarok from Vampire as well, a powerful tank blasting everyone which way. And what seemed like a really desperate situation, 14-1. Mr. Ogrin pulling it out of the bag. Also got a powerful line of defense against these castigators, but the castigators seem to be holding on relatively well. Also got the Exorcist Prioris from a distance. I thought you were meant to fire multiple missiles. I thought that's what happened. Just a regular Exorcist. That's what a Prioris meant. You just have priority target, you just fire one at a time. Nope. I must be wrong in some way. Well, that was a big mortar tank. He's dead. So is Chimera. I've got regular guardsmen. Although the Tekkanan mechanized command is with the Imperial Guard just for quick reinforcement. A neutron laser destroyer. Limiter 1. Assuming you're a powerful anti-vehicle tank. Also got some flying grey spectres to inspect the grey. Plenty of grey on this map. Now we've got these Celestians armed to the teeth with all their weaponries. Engineers been blasted apart by every gun under the sun. And the Vraxian Renegade Guard are struggling. It has been basically like a 1 versus 1 down here. Powerful Hunter-Killer missile been thrown down by the Exis Prioris. Vampire is trying to assist both the northern side and the southern side. I don't know if this is the time to basically hold off on the assault for now for the Salamanders. And look at that cigar of a tank. Been focused down by the Predators. Really unfortunate if they lost it. It's quite expensive. Can they take it down? They do seem to just manage to bring him. The Rogel Dawn battle tank. It's another powerful tank. I mean, the Shogun at Renegade Guard have got so many options all the way for the game. Here comes the soldiers of the DKoK Krieg. One castigator quite low on health. A double zapping helping to keep the castigators offline for a little bit. Oh yeah, from the Renegade Psychers. That's what they do. The Inquisitor doesn't mind a bit of close combat against a tank. We'll never advise it, but it's giving it a go. And watch out for those gun turret emplacements. Remarkable damage against tanks. And does manage to get that one castigator down. Also have the Heretics repairing the Bastion. So even though Uslo Nolexar has had a really difficult time against Gal, he's done what Imperial Guard factions do and just play defensively and hold that line. He doesn't need to win. He just needs to hold on for long enough so that his other teammates can get in there. That Rogel Dawn battle tank. It's got a Gatling gun. It's got lots of shooting bits, much like the Castigators. And Vasya Ogrin says no thank you. Oh dear, oh dear. Why was that? Got potential for bounce back ability, Vasya. You could have done it. You had your late game infantry on the go. Ah, and Uslo Nolexar. He's gone offline as well. There's plenty more game time on my replay counter. So I wonder if Vampire is going to hold off like a true Death Guard. He's got a bunker. He's got an Earthshaker platform. Let's just hold on for a little bit longer and see where things go. Maybe he could do a glorious last stand. He's got to get a couple of Ragnaroks. He's getting some trench raiders and some grenadiers. He's got the... Yeah, I mean, like... Yeah, oh, look at that. He's got the economy. He could have done some... Ah, what a shame. What a shame. But Vampire is not leaving. No sirree, Bob. He's got his defences in place. And he's ready to hold off some chemical gas being thrown down by the Earthshaker platform. Here come the trench raiders. They've got their clubs. And they're ready to bonk things. If memory serves, they've got some sort of ranged damage reduction, or maybe I'm getting them confused with something else. But they could just run forward. Just a couple of mad lads. Oh right, oh dear. There's Living St. Anus. Oh, sorry, no, haha. That's probably not how you pronounce the name. It's probably not how you pronounce the name at all. Dear oh dear. Well, she's there. She's got pink flowers on her sword. The defense over here are being rustled. The minefields being activated. Gun turret emplacements been focused down. Bunker attempted to get his weapon upgrade, but has been taken out. The engineers left in the open. Oh, what a terrible sight for the DKoK Krieg. But they're not giving up. There we go, Grenadiers. They see a big angel and say, right, well, fix shovels, gentlemen. Well, actually, they've got their swords. You know, the meme might be a thing, but this isn't a meme game. This is a serious game for serious men and women. Got triple tanks, but that's not a problem for the... Oh, actually, that is a problem for the Ragnarok, because it's dead. We'll try and get a commissariat Lehman Russ Malkador main battle tank. That's probably what you wanted to get originally, to be fair. But look how expensive. 200 blue and 380. But he's got the money for it. No tanks online at the moment. And I was hoping for a bit more of a stalwart defense, but to be fair, 3 versus 1, what more can you do? When an angel comes knocking on your door, and you've got that penitent engine charging down the scantily clad person on the front lines. I don't know what you were firing at, but you've done something. How's that? Oh, you're just popping down some tank traps, which the DKoK Krieg are wont to do. General attempts to come out. Man goes down off his ship, but Vampire says no thank you. And that was that. Well, what an absolutely slobber knocker of a game. There was lots of aggression from the Salamanders, holding it back. Wonderful teamwork by the Shogun Renegade Guard and the Imperial Guard. Nice little 1 versus 1 down on the southern side, and a very impressive display from the DKoK Krieg, supporting the ally both on the northern side and the southern side. So, proper stuff all the way. So we go. Cheers, boy, for sending that game into the Discord. And if you want to support the channel, have a look at the old Patreon. £1 a month gets you 1 game a week, and a result of Discord when Discord things happen. Links in the description as always. That's been Mr. Landshark. Pleasure's always never short, and I'll see you in a bit. Peace.